And if you're watching on Twitch, we're live every single day on Twitch and on YouTube. But Twitch is brought to you by our friends at Springer's Jewelers. If you're looking for a diamond, go see them at Springer's Jewelers in tax-free Portsmouth, New Hampshire. The team at Springer's takes the time to teach you how to buy a diamond. Visit springersjewelers.com. Now, we were talking about Red Sox before the break, and some people had some things to say. So let's hear from David in the car. David, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Courtney, you're doing a great job. Absolutely great. Right on point, on time with your training and everything. Unbelievable. Great job.
David.
Great job. You're very welcome. So I'm a Red Sox. You know, the thing I look at it this way, if they don't make it to the playoffs, I believe Alex Cora needs to get fired. And the reason I say that is that you have a good team. You have a young team where it's moldable. You can mold a team. They should be playing the way it needs to be played. They need to be coached properly. And they need to execute it. And if Alex Cora cannot do that, then you cannot waste another year with him hoping. And we cannot use excuse, well, it's a young team, we got to give it another year. No. If Alex Cora cannot pull this off, he needs to get out. We need to move on and get somebody else in here. No questions asked.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
I have to just, the manager, I think, is largely irrelevant. I know Cora gets paid, the top 3 or 4 of all managers in baseball, but, look at the Yankees. I mean, Aaron Boone's kept his job, and he's been a far worse manager. I mean, they have than Cora.
No, he's not.
Yes, he has.
What?
They went to the World Series. They
went to the World Series. They've been to the playoffs a couple times.
They have a team that is at least twice as talented in most places than the Red Sox are. There are outside of with this year with what's his face Cole being done for the year. Their crochet is out, but the Yankees have had far more talent.
Yeah, they lost in the World Series.
Right, and then how many other World Series has Aaron Boone
I mean,
been
they haven't. I agree with you. They haven't been to many. But if you look over the last 3-4 years, and I remember doing that as a lead, Aaron Boone's record as a manager is better than Cora's. I think
Yankees and Red Sox managers are judged by not what their regular season record is, but it's what they do in the playoffs.
Okay,
and Aaron Boone has been an underachiever as the manager.
Well, I would agree with you as he's been an underachiever, and Cora. Yeah, Cora did win a World Series, and
if Aaron Boone and Cora are both free agents, who gets the job first?
I mean, I think more people like Cora,
right?
So I would lean towards that. Right. But you could see in baseball, it's do you like the guy? I mean, I agree with David. It's if you don't make the playoffs, this is 4 years in a row, and you can't tell me you're one of the best managers in baseball, and you did it with Joe Burrow. We were talking yesterday, you can't be one of the top players, coaches in the league and have missed the playoffs 4 years in a row.
I just wonder if behind closed doors, Cora is keeping players at bay. Would we have so much more of an S show the last couple of seasons if Alex Cora wasn't the manager? Because if you're listening to Curtis and the managers don't really mean much to the play on the field and it's more the talent of the players, then we just been lacking there.
Yeah,
and Alex Cora doesn't really have anything to do with it, but behind closed doors, things could have been 10 times worse.
But
and that's why
you say that. Where have you been for the last 3 years? It's been an S show in the second half.
But I'm saying, could it have been even worse?
No, but because I forget which one of you guys said this, but you said the reason why they fall apart in the second half of the season is because they don't do anything, and then the manager comes in moping and gives up on the season, and then the rest of the team follows suit. So, isn't that an issue? If your manager gives up on the season because the GM didn't make moves at the trade deadline, and then the rest of the team follows suit, you're saying that person is keeping it together? Isn't he the reason why?
He's sticking up for the players.
And we've seen
so moping around and being the front office didn't do anything, we're gonna stink, and then just the attitude that you bring the second half of the season is just, we're not good anyways because we didn't do anything, and then the rest of your team follows that suit.
Yeah, we saw what that looks like. It's 2012. It's Bobby Valentine. It's a team that totally quit on the manager, and it doesn't end the season at 500. And believe me, I'm not booking a duck boat parade for Cora for holding it together. But
isn't that what they've been doing the last 3 years, quitting on the second half of the season?
Chicken and beer, Bobby V.
I'm not talking the chicken and beer. I'm just talking about.
But I'm telling you, in 2012, a year after Chicken and Beer, the team was awful. And they were not nearly as bad as their record suggested. They didn't play for Bobby V. And I think of all the sports, I think you can put MLB and NBA in the same bag, which is that the coaches are not as important as they are in other sports.
I completely agree with that. I've said that to you before. So my thing is, if that's the case, then why are you paying a guy $7 million to put a lineup card in that you can have a computer do?
Because it's not taxed, and it's a way for the fan base to believe in their manager, and it's cheaper than signing a better player in free agency.
And maybe for players that want to play for Alex Cora, it's a guy that you want here. Here's Mark in Florida on the Red Sox. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Courtney. Great job in the lead spot, as always. Curtis, I'm shocked that you didn't push back on Wiggy earlier when he said the Sox are going to invest big in the offseason because they had a good season this year. What gives you – I love Wiggy, but listen, they gave Bregman essentially a one-year deal. What makes you think, Wiggy, that they're really, really going to invest in the offseason? Because I don't believe them at all. I don't believe a word that Sam Kennedy says.
Well, I mean, there's no proof that leads me to go down that road other than the fact that you heard Sam Kennedy talk about, making a run at Joe Ryan. It didn't fall through, and then possibly that be something that they're going to do in the offseason.
But that's not an investment. He's under contract. He's like $5 million.
Right, but if you get him and then you give him a new deal like you did Garrett Crochet, that's an investment.
Yeah, I feel
isn't Crochet an investment?
Yeah, but not on next year. I mean, yes. I mean, we could talk. Right. Semantically, you can sign him to an extension the way you did with Crochet. Right. I would also say, though, that there is zero chance they invest in this offseason. I'm sorry, I didn't react to that in the moment. No, they are.
So you think they let Bregman walk?
Let me rephrase. They are not going to spend and add new players at the top of the free agent market. They will maybe trade for people already under control, but they are not going to invest in free agent dollars.
Okay, free agent dollars. But you think they re-sign?
But he's under contract, so.
But isn't that part of it? Because the caller said Bregman. Isn't that part of the investment invested in?
They will not be a top 10 salaried payroll team in baseball next year.
All right, so you're saying they won't go after guys like Pete Alonso?
They won't add.
They won't add so they might add like a 2-year, 3-year, $60 million deal. I'm saying top of the market. John Henry is going to lock the players out a year from now. At the conclusion of the 2026 season, there will be a lockout. We will likely have a season without baseball, because they are trying to do whatever they can to institute a salary cap and reshape the entire finances of the sport.
So don't waste that money when you know there's going to be a lockout.
No, it's that he's the one screaming for the need of the lockout, and you can't get other owners to fall in line if you're the one screaming for it and then investing in free agency in a way that you're telling people they can't.
All right, well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll have Craig Breslow on tomorrow for the front office report at 9 a.m.